Well, it's back to business for the Oakland Raiders. They are at work today preparing for their final game of the preseason. The Raiders are at practice. Antonio Brown, and this is from today, has said he will no longer fight the league to wear his preferred helmet. His second appeal was denied, so he has decided to move on. That's not to say he settled on the exact specific helmet, but he will wear one that is approved. He has had 6 consecutive seasons with at least 100 receptions. So, gentlemen, Rob, I'll start with you. They just want a helmet and Antonio Brown on the field ready to produce.
They just want to have some chemistry on the field. Let's go on the field. Let's run some routes. Let's get into this training camp and let's try and put a winning culture here together. So, you know, I think it's great that he's out there on the practice field. And I'm happy he's got a helmet, right? He finally has a helmet that he's going to wear.
Well, he's not wearing it, but
everybody else has got one.
I think when you think about AB and John Gruden's marriage that they have, Gruden gave up a 3rd round and a 5th round pick for him. He certainly wants it to work. He's going to do everything within his power to make sure that AB is successful, to get him the football, all of those sort of things, because in the passing game, it's all going to go through AB, whether he's touching the football or not. Being in that offense and being with John, sometimes you can stand around and be a cardboard cutout, but you're going to be effective because the defense has to rotate towards you.
I just think what we've learned here is they've got to keep him happy. Like this is a guy who, if things aren't just right, is going to make waves. And I think, you know.
Well, what receiver isn't?
Well, I don't know why I looked over at you when I said that.
True words.
He looked over at me and said, happy.
Kind of go to Keyshawn there.
Why y'all always do?
Is it content?
Why do y'all always do me like that?
I don't know.
Because Key, come on.
Accident. I didn't mean to look at you, but no. Look, I think it's interesting that this is how this has all started. I mean, this was their big offseason move. They trade the 3rd and the 5th. They give him more money on the contract. They're going to Vegas next year. They want attention. They want a good vibe and a feeling. That's true. If you're in the Jerry Jones school of all publicity is good publicity, this is really good. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to follow. It's going to be interesting to follow.
And I think people have to remember and realize his beef is not with the Raiders.
Right.
It's with the NFL.
But it's affecting the Raiders.
I don't know if it's affecting them. I don't know if
At what point could it?
But if you're the Raiders, you now know what happens when this guy has beef, right? So what if he does at some point have with John Gruden or with the organization?
Well, it's going to be a win-loss situation for the team.
Yeah.
If you're winning, not a problem, because that means that he's getting his touches, he's affecting the game by being on the field. If they're losing and he's not getting his touches, that's when things fall apart. If John Gruden is sitting there, because coaches have the tendency to do this, and you know this, Rob, and I'm sure you know it, Dan, telling you, looking you square in the face and telling you a big part of the game plan this week. Oh, we're going to do this with you, blah, blah, blah. And you go out there and you get 3 catches the first half, 1 in the 4th quarter, and then with 2 minutes to go in the game, down by 14, all of a sudden they want to try to unleash you when it's too late and want you to be Superman. That's when you get into the problems.
Well, and Antonio Brown will notice. That will not go unnoticed.
Wendy, what's wrong with you, girl?
Yeah,
I don't know that.
Yeah, you think? Well, we'll see. To your point, I would say this. They are incented to make it work.